In every battle, there is a moment. Most don't even see it. But for others, it's all they see. That move, that shot, that separates legend from afterthought. That instance between your name heard round the world and total, deafening silence. Every moment, every battle only has two outcomes. And when it happens, only you can decide what is yours.
Hello and welcome back to the Call of Duty League playoffs. Maven and Merc here, and look at that beautiful, sexy, incredible trophy as one team will be taking that home when it's all said and done. We've got about 2 weeks of action. It's going to be a phenomenal time. And Joe, I'm just wondering, even though I spent the whole morning with you, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. I'm doing really well, man. That game 5 was wild. That's what we want to see in the playoffs. The best teams in the world playing some of the best Call of Duty that we've seen.
Absolutely, absolutely. But let's get right into it. Let's go into the game fuel keys to victory. We're going to start off with Florida. Joe, can you take me through it? What's going to be big for them?
Oh, well, they've been losing the high-pressure moments at the end of games, right? You're looking at your guys to step up, guys like Pharaoh, Awakening, Skies, to just capture those big moments. And, just going to calm down, right? Execute together. And, well, those guys that I talked about, they have to continue that. You need your players to play at the highest level. Your best players, Skies, an MVP candidate. Awakening, since he's joined this roster, has been insane. And Pharaoh, we know that he can flip the switch.
He absolutely can. You'll see a shot of the two teams there, and that'll bring us right into our game fuel keys to victory for Toronto as we talk through it. This team is, I don't want to say came out of nowhere because they battled some teams over the course of the year, but they have stepped it up so much lately. Keep up the S&D excellence from their last 2 home series. Play off the sniper pick from Cammy to get him going. And one thing that's interesting, they're going to be playing, I believe, Piccadilly for map 2. I don't have a specific sniper stat for his total kills or how dominant he's been there, but just take this, Joe. He is number 2 overall in KD of all CDL players on Piccadilly this year. That's pretty good.
Yeah, that is very good. And I think for Toronto, just keep that momentum up, man. Ever since that Toronto home series, these guys have been on fire.
They absolutely have, but now it's time, Joe, to get into predictions. This is your Sony Xperia smartphone predictions. What'd you take? How'd you go?
This was a tough one for me. It's going to get tough, but I believe I went Florida 3-1. I'm going with the fact that these guys have won back-to-back home series events before. You look at the talent. I feel like all those mistakes, they should be able to fix them with the practice leading up to champs.
We'll see. I guess I fell in love with Florida. Or sorry, Toronto, the Toronto event with the syrup all over my face and how messy that got. Funny story. Well, my prediction first off is Toronto 3-1. But the Ultra team wanted to send me kind of a care package, a gift. You might have saw Miles tweet out yesterday, the pajamas that he had, the purple pajamas, they were really cool. With my package in my box, they wanted to send actual maple syrup in it as well. The problem is the maple syrup cracked open. So what I got was pajamas covered in syrup.
Which goes, well, at least you got some real maple syrup and not whatever that stuff was last time.
That's true. That is true, Joe. But the matchup is about to get going. We need to introduce our squads. Let's meet the Florida Mutineers. You don't give them much of a chance this weekend?
No, I don't.
Bingo is his name-o and Pharaoh.
And we actually just took over.
Pharaoh's 11-1!
My God, man. They have taken over the Call of Duty League.
We'll take a look at this roster. Joe, just break it down for me as high level as you can. What makes this team special?
There's not a lot of weaknesses, honestly. There really isn't. It's really hard to find out one. If you want to look at the times they've been struggling, maybe you look at Havoc, right? Really being their X factor. When they went back to back, he had over a 1 kitty. You look at Toronto when they struggled, he was at a 0.78. But besides that, they slay well. It's just a tough team to beat, and fundamentally, they've been there all year.
Okay, well, fundamentally, can they be there today, though, is the big question. Let's meet the other side of this matchup. This is the Toronto Ultra.
I don't think Toronto's going to be ready for this.
That is quite literally worst case scenario if you're Ultra.
Toronto, they're meant to lose this game.
Toronto have not quite had what it takes.
check.
5 it was.
After a year of disappointment, Toronto Ultra, Cinderella's going to the ball.
Well, Joe, we've seen a lot of rosters for the Ultra. That was the big talking point at the beginning of the year. The fact that they were going to have 10 players. They've been swapping in and out with freedom. They found a squad that won a home series event. They're sticking with this, of course. And they seem to be a real threat for some upsets here, at least for me.
They're peaking at the right time, and it is because they finally found the 5-man roster that they wanted to roll with. Ever since bringing Kleenex on board, I mean, the SMG prowess really of this squad is there, and then just how consistent Methods has been in that mid-AR role. We saw it at Toronto. These guys got it.
Well, now let's look through our U.S. Air Force maps and modes. This is how it's going to break down. We're going to start on Azir Cave. Unfortunately, I believe for Toronto, they have 4 straight losses on that map: the Minnesota, London, Paris, and Florida. So the last time they won it, I believe it was launch weekend is what I'm seeing from our stats side, and that was against Seattle. So we're going back to launch weekend. That has not been a great map one for them. A great map for them in general by any stretch.
Yeah, and it's a great map for Florida, especially with Awakening on their squad. 3-1. They're 7-4 overall, but 3-1 since Awakening has joined the roster. So these guys, we talk about the AR power, especially behind Skies, behind Awakening. Heck, even Pharaoh can pull out a third one. This map plays very well for their style.
Talked a lot about Awakening, how he came on this team as a rookie, won his first 2 Pro Series events. But Joe, this has to be a different kind of pressure, right? Even if you're online at home.
Yeah, I just think he's won his events though. I don't know. I don't think the pressure's there anymore. He's continued to play well. I think everybody's feeling the pressure because it's God Jams. And someone almost just stunned themselves. So yeah, maybe they're feeling the pressure.
All right, maybe just a little bit, but
they're feeling the pressure a little bit.
Off the rip we go. Map 1 is Azir Cave, and a reminder that this is a winner's bracket match, so no one getting knocked out of the competition, but a chance to move on for an even bigger payday. The amount of money that's on the line within each match as we go further and further in, round by round, it gets to absurd levels. And that's what makes this such a beautiful day of competition. Well, a week of competition is Frosty able to shut down 2 with the M4.
Yeah, and I like this just so far from Toronto. You see Methods backing all the way up. We're going to have our... Oh, I thought Frosty was going to push all the way through, but Methods is just making sure that they hold spawns for the second hill when we rotate over to that KV side. But they're locking it down right now. They're also getting early time. This is best case scenario, but here we go. Methods, his first test is here. And Havoc is there for the trade. We talked about him. He can be an X factor. He plays it smart. You look at players like Envoy to compare him to. He's always trying to find the routes for his team.
Well, it's Cammy that is able to get that ×3 multi-kill and 28 points on the board for them. But there's going to be a battle now at Cave Side East. The first team kind of in by the Hardpoint will be Ultra, but the pressure is here early from Mutineers as they're trying to get in. But it's Benjamin Mance that's making the plays to alleviate that pressure.
Yeah, Florida has the spawns right now, but it's not a big deal if you have control of the hill like Toronto does. And where does Florida have to come through? It's a tiny little tunnel all the way towards the back or through that top side sandbag area. Skies and Havoc, though, are going to find 2 kills. It's going to give them some pressure, and I like that from Kleenex. Just going to play around the smoke, and he wins the one-on-one. This is great time. That's going to be all 5 dead, and this is actually perfect for rotating the soccer field. Florida is still going to be stuck all the way towards back broken.
See how long they can actually trap them in. Mutineers finally able to clear them out of the hard point, but what a start from Ultra. 49-3 feels good through 2 hard points, and as you highlighted, in a good position for next as well as Skies keeps it going. One of the most, if not the most, consistent AR on a top team all year. He has been lights out for the most part, a rising star over the last 2 seasons, and he has been a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, he has, but he's going to have to kick it into another gear right now because Toronto, they are controlling this game. Havoc, he's going to find 2, at least give them some pressure towards the right side of soccer field. Kleenex is going to have that smoke, just controlling Spiral right now. Behind that kill, he's going to fly, but Frosty's there with that M4, shuts him down, but still only 6 points on the board for Florida. This is about as good as it gets right now for Toronto Ultra.
Yeah, it was looking good, and now it's starting to look better, but at least for Mutineers, they've gotten into the point, trying to rack up some time and claw back into this one early. Absolutely, and obviously not out of it by any stretch of the imagination, but you hate to have a slow start in a series, a match as big as this one. As
Well, they've
dead
just
silence out for Frosty now.
They've lost every rotation, though. We're going to Cave West. Look who's already there. Cammy, he's set up. He's pushed up the front side. Classic is in the hill. They've lost every rotation so far. And, I mean, you just got to give props to Toronto Ultra in the way they are playing this map. They are controlling.
What didn't look like it was going to be a nail-biting finish at first ends up being a gut-wrenching loss for Mutineers. I mean, I guess the silver lining for them, you didn't get blown out. You battled back. You made it competitive. You clearly started to heat up a bit. Awakening, who was, 4-15 or something in that ballpark, became alive. Pharaoh had one heck of a map, but, I mean, you just stomped them early. If you're Toronto, you took that massive lead, and I think you kind of nailed it towards the end of it. Like, that's why that big lead pays off at the end of the game. Like, I guess you have more room for error late in the game.
Yeah, it gets a little bit scary, 100%. But yeah, because you started off so hot, you can make. I wouldn't say they were making some mistakes. You know that Florida is probably gonna, figure it out, and they were able to do so. They were winning more of those rotations, and they made it close. But it comes down to those individual plays. I thought Florida just had enough to get it to that next hill, but Toronto, they get that final tick.
Well, we're going to go back and watch the final minute of this game because it was an absolutely insane one, Joe. Just nonstop action, and we're going to talk through the final minute of this and how it all broke down, because it's really coming down to that final outpost hardpoint. 225 to 217 at this point in time. 45 seconds remaining, and all hell breaks loose, Joe.
Yeah, and before we jumped into this replay, Cammy made a really good play. So he basically forced all of the cliffside pressure to go elsewhere, which is what you want. This takes so long for Florida. They can go middle of a cave, but typically what happens is what we see right here from Pharaoh. Right, you get on that hill, you trade instantly, they get right back on it. Usually where you see the flood from is from that cliffside, so Cammy did a great job locking things down. Finally, the pressure is there. Awakening, he finds those 3 kills. There's the flood. And you can kind of see some of Florida, they're going back and forth those arrows. They just want to make sure that they did enough. And Pharaoh, he probably thought he made the play here, but Kleenex was the last member on it.
Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. And, sometimes, like, the players will joke about the fact that, like, there are some titles that you do get that final pick. There are some titles where you don't get that final pick. This is the title you do. And thank God for Ultra, because who knows what happens on a rotation if that final point doesn't go in. That's what seals the map 1. They escape, right? Like, it was close. Mutineers made that run, but Ultra are able to escape and get it done. 250 to 232, the Ultra map 1 victory, and they'll take the hard point. It's Search and Destroy coming up next after this quick break.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Toronto Ultra destroyed them.
Kleenex right through the wall.
As Methods was a monster for Ultra.
4 go down medals.
Lucky. 3 in a row.
Oh boy.
Thousands and thousands of hours of hard work lead to this moment.
Once again, Mutineers, the teamwork is just exceptional right now.
There's the clearance from the Mutineers, and there's the win.
Congratulations, not only do you win your 3rd home series, Mutineers have just taken over the COD League.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's the moment we've all been waiting for.
Toronto Ultra destroyed them.
Kleenex right through the wall.
As Methods was a monster for Ultra.
4 go down medals.
Lucky. 3 in a row.
Oh boy.
In every battle, there is a moment. Most don't even see it. But for others, it's all they see.
And there's the hype. How many men is he gonna run through? That was just easy. Dominance. They did it.
Here, On the ultimate proving grounds, Call of Duty's elite converge. When that moment stares you in the face, you'll know one thing. Glory isn't given. Glory isn't easy. Glory is taken.
Hello and welcome back. Toronto Ultra able to hold off the tide as Mutineers go crazy over the final stretch of that game. You can't quite pull it out. This is a look at your U.S. Air Force quickscope. Both teams in comparison. It's tough to compare considering that wild stretch in June that Mutineers had. Well, even early in the year, a couple runs to the finals. But for Toronto, you've gotten better when it counted, right? End of the year, win the final home series. You seem to be playing your best Call of Duty now. What more could you ask?
Yeah, I mean, what, 4 or 5 of those wins are the last couple events that we've had. So, yeah, they have 100% turning around. And, you know, we talk about vetoes and your map versus their map. That is huge for Toronto. You just won their hardpoint, a very strong hardpoint for the Mutineers. And now you're going to your search and destroy pick. It's Piccadilly. And for Florida, you know, 3-2 with Awakening on the roster, but Toronto 4-3. And we've seen what Toronto Ultra have done recently, especially Cammy.
Yeah, and that's a good point. Just a reminder, Ultra had lost their last 4 Azir Caves. They had not won that since launch weekend against Seattle. They get it there over the Mutineers,
Cheers.
one of the better teams on that map. And now you head to Cammy's home, where he is what? He's the number 2 KD in all players on Piccadilly. He has been dominant here. His sniper rifle has provided some of the most absurd plays we've seen. Who was it that tweeted out the one clip? Was it Envoy? I can't remember. Somebody tweeted a clip where he just got smoked. I was like, okay, that's what you're dealing with. Just how nasty Cammy has been with that sniper.
When we watched this map between the 2 LA squads, there was a lot of A pressure. It looks like Toronto going to send Phoenix advance right up middle of the buses. Awakening, he's going to be the first man up, and he's going to back down. Doesn't want to get traded. He knows the nades are going to be coming in, and Havoc, he's working that A bomb. He's able to find that angle and find the first blood.
Now, what can they do behind that? Skies just spotting classic bomb carrier behind the car. Kleenex is worked up on him as well to come and support, I believe, is Awakening, who's here to help. You've got the man advantage. Just work this retake. Now, bomb planted. They've got 40 seconds to go. Find these kills and work the defuse. We'll see how the retake goes for Mutineers.
Yeah, I like that. Just blow up that trophy that allows you to get your nades in for the retake. Frosty's trying to be the first man up, but it's going to be Havoc again. And he's able to stay alive. He at least finds that kill. They're going to know where Methods is now. Where is the trade coming in? To be coming from Pharaoh. Now with 3 versus 2, but they got to go. Only 17 seconds left, and it's all down to Kleenex. He's inside a bookstore, not able to do it. The Florida Mutineers, a beautiful retake, but it is behind Havoc, who finds that first blood.
Yeah, you know, they let them get the bomb down. They make sure they don't lose anyone during that sequence. They play their numbers perfectly, and they get the round victory. Credit to Havoc. He gets it done with a final shot of it from Skies. Even the hip fire bullet hits for him as he puts the final kill through, and still that red dot M4 in action.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just like, you know, we've talked about the server differences on, you know, you're playing on 60 hertz now. Maybe you don't need that extra attachment, and you can just roll with that red dot.
Maybe, yeah, I'm sure that could be part of it. But it's a 2-1 start there for Havoc. He leads the way. Now we'll see if, well, I mean, Ultra takes the Mutineers map. Can Mutineers do the same thing? But yeah, I like this. Check it out, Cammy, and just how good he has been. And what do you think they can do to, I guess, reduce his influence when you know he's such a good sniper and just a good player on this map?
I mean, you can't really. We always thought if a good sniper's hitting shots, there's nothing you can do, right? Like you have to keep playing your game. You can't slow down. Obviously, use the smokes to your advantage and play around those bomb sites. But if he's hitting, he's hitting. But into that A site, Frosty was trying to get the bomb down, but he does get taken down by Kleenex. Awakening was able to even it out at 4-4. But here comes the pressure towards the B side. It's Bance with 2.
Trying to see how he wants to play this. Like, he's just tucked away. Pharaoh will drop. Havoc now with the pistol sniper combo has to try and get this done. You sneak out and maybe catch somebody. Well, now they're going to know something is up. It's pistol on pistol warfare, and Cammy will get the edge if he hits the shots and ties this up at 1-1. Once again from Cammy's POV, takes the gunfight to take the round.
Yeah, and I just love the way Toronto played that. They just sort of let Florida go towards the A site, and what do? They take B side control. They try to get around that scaffolding area. They take pillars away, and then basically they just sort of take all the angles away from the Mutineers, where they can only play around that A hut, that A staircase. It's just so difficult to hold if you can't watch your flank. So a nice defense from Toronto, but now onto the attack. It looks like it's to be a very fast A hit.
Let's see if they can get it down clean. Mutineers weren't able to do so. And they do it from the Ultra side. Vance is already going to drop. Frosty's now got the angle. The smoke is clearing, and everything's starting to open up. Mutineers just cracking that offensive push wide open. After Cammy, you're probably going to have to hit some shots.
Yeah, they got bomb. If they were able to get bombed down, you had Kleenex in a great position in that top window. Plastic is going to find another one. Ave's just playing for some info. Bunny hopping around. And now they have to try to work this bomb.
Kleenex able to win the gunfight. Finds an M4 as well, and just able to get away with his life. Almost gets caught and traded. But a nice finesse. Cammy seems to know right where Skies is, but Skies has Daddy, and I did not think Skies had any right winning that gunfight, but he's able to do it. Now going to be a 3 versus 2 for Mutineers. Classic able to plant the bomb. In Classic and Kleenex hold off this wave as Mutineers look for another retake with a 1-man advantage. They do it again.
This is where you want Kleenex. The only bad thing is he doesn't have an M4, right? Because if Classy does get taken down, he's going to have to challenge probably 2 M4s with his MP5 at this distance. It's going to be tough, but Classy, he's able to find one. He's got a trophy to protect himself. He's just trying to waste time. Here comes that 1v1. Kleenex wins it. Now it's all down to Havoc. I just don't think he has the time.
And he's just going to have to try and hop it. Kleenex should be able to get the peak. He'll get dropped, but not enough time for the defuse. Ultra, they get it done. No retake this time around for Mutineers. As Ultra now take the 2-1 edge.
Yeah, in Florida, you get that, you get the man advantage, and I liked what they were doing. They slowed it down. It feels like they're finding that man advantage, and then they're just sort of, all right, we can regroup and retake the site. But Toronto played it very patiently. They didn't immediately go for the bomb plant. Kleenex used that Deddy, was able to make it a 3 versus 3. So, patience really shown on both sides.
From a first blood department, it's technically, well, it's Mutineers that are leading the way. Havoc and Pharaoh have gotten 2 of them. You're losing this so far. Try to capitalize on those early advantages a little bit better. This time they try to get the fast plant down again, and they're able to do it, but first blood comes in for Ultra. Vance able to take off Awakening's head. Skies answers instantly with a Simtex onto Cammy. Now can Pharaoh find the angle?
Kleenex is going all the way around, though. He up behind Skies. If you're Toronto, you're waiting on Kleenex. He has to go. He took a very long route all the way through. They're waiting for this man, and now they're going to go, but is it too late? Frosty was able to take down his teammate Methods. They just have so many angles to check, but now it's all down to Skies.
Skies got Deddy out. There's at least going to be one.
One behind him.
1v3 into the 1v2. Not able to quite snap on, and Classic gets on it with enough time. Another round there for Ultra, but a position that it looked close. It looked like Skies a great chance to clutch that, but just couldn't hit the shots in the second player.
Yeah, he messed up his movement a little bit. I think
it looked a little awkward, right?
Yeah, I think he was like trying to slide cancel it. He hits the barricade then. But you're just in a position where you don't want the defuse to go off. It's very difficult, but yeah, maybe just misplayed that a lot, but it was Kleenex working the flank. In Toronto, once again, they allow the A plant to go in. They feel very comfortable with their retakes, and it works out again.
5 on the board for Kleenex, 5 for Vance as well, but it's Pharaoh that hits with the sniper, and they're in desperate need of a round win. That'll be the second first blood for Pharaoh, and Havoc just rips one out of the window, snaps onto another as Havoc, creating havoc mid-map. And Ultra now in trouble unless Classic and Cammy can turn the tide. Classic nearly able to get away, but not quite. Cammy caught right after the fact, and that is a quick round win for Mutineers behind what, a Pharaoh snipe and a lovely Havoc 2-piece.
Yeah, I don't know if Kleenex was stunned or he was just weak, but you're inside that little hut. He's got the cover. Havoc doesn't, but Havoc rips his face off and then he's just able to stay alive. Yeah, exactly right. That second player is just trying to get into that prone position and stay alive from nades, but Havoc stays alive, finds the 2, and well, that's now what, the second round where, I mean, Florida wins. Havoc has a multi-kill.
Oh, what did we see in the Optic win here the other day? Like, it was all about multi-kills, man.
Yeah.
Like, so many players just having these insane moments. Awakening, he was battling at buses, had a slow map one, kind of bounced back to a round even, but his slow start certainly didn't help, trying to avoid the same fate here as he's now 2 and 4. Through another smoke he goes, just trying to find any kind of angle onto the Ultra players.
Maybe?
He's right around the corner. There's 2 of them just laying pro right around the corner. Surprise! Peekaboo! It's Awakening.
But Bance, though, is in that very sneaky position. He could ruin this round for Florida. Bance is going to pop up, but Frosty's ready for it. They deal with it. Phoenix now trying to watch the cross. That's your teammate. That is your teammate. Classy does take down Awakening, and Methods is working the flank with the man advantage over to Florida.
He's still got to work to get this bomb down. As Classic and Methods try to get into the mix. Methods had, well, in that final verse phase, so many clutches in Search and Destroy. Maybe he can pull another one out here because Classic had no chance with that challenge. He's going to get dropped. Can Methods pull off the 1v3? That is a quick and resounding no. Back-to-back rounds for Mutineers, and we're all square at 3-3.
Yeah, just making those small adjustments. Why have they been losing in offense? Right? It's because their B-side's been wide open. Toronto is taking it away from them. Frosty was able to win that big 1v1 against Bantu, who was playing that sneaky position. But they take bus control. You try to get Awakening inside of that bookstore. And once again, they have another round where they have man advantage and they play it well.
Cammy, I mean, we've talked so much about him being the, kind of second best player from a KD standpoint here and how good the sniper has been. He's 1 and 5, so his presence, well, not really felt much yet by Mutineers, but other guys in the team obviously stepping up. Maybe this will be his round to get going, but the first blood there goes the Kleenex.
Yeah, I mean, you really haven't. You saw what, Barrow with a snipe, but you haven't seen many snipe kills this map.
No. I feel like way less than normal, right? Like,
yeah,
compared to any other Piccadilly. Like,
well, and I guess when teams are sort of playing around those retakes, you typically don't want a guy with a sniper. You would love another AR, another submachine gun for those situations. This guy's, I believe, trying to find the kneecap of Classic, and he's able to spot it.
Oh, that's a torn ACL, MCL, as that gets ripped right off by the M4.
It must be a little bit more. It's going to be hurt tomorrow.
That will require surgery. Awakening puts down Methods, and now to Cammy and Bance. It will get the bomb planted. Now, can they somehow hold this off? Cammy's going to get caught behind the bomb as well. Pharaoh shuts it down. They're going to line up a bit for Bance, but the damage is in, the kills are not, and Pharaoh's pistol too strong, as he'll now hop the defuse 3 in a row for Mutineers.
Yeah, and that was Methods is going on that flank there. It looks like he has dead silence now, so he probably didn't have it, so Awakening must have hurt him. If Methods has dead silence in that situation, he might have been able to make the play, because he did find the opening behind the Mutineers, and they can sort of sandwich bookstore there and maybe give them the man advantage, but that doesn't happen. Nice awareness from Awakening. As you said, 3 rounds in a row, just changing their mid rounds up and, adjusting his Toronto Ultra strategy.
Let's see what the offensive hit looks like for Mutineers now. First blood edge, we'll try to keep you up there. It's 4-3 in favor of Florida, and guess what? Well, that is your scoreline. Another first blood to Florida. This time Awakening on the mix. That's going to be his second of this game too. As Ultra continue to have to battle in spots where they're down in players.
Yeah, just trying to get a little bit aggressive towards that B side again, trying to force Florida towards A. Florida taking their time now. Havoc able to spot Classic up top. He's going to drop down and reset. You have a double setup here towards Pillar side and Bance and Cammy. That could stop this Florida push, but they're going to have to hit all their shots. The smoke, it looks like they're going to go towards this site. This could be perfect for him. And well, Cammy Sniper is going to connect. Can he hit the second? Havoc flies out through the smoke with the bunny hop, and now he's going to play his life.
Yeah, that you would have had to hit a snap and a half to stop that one as Havoc just soars on through. Now, Frosty trying to get forward. Can't finesse quite long enough. All on methods. A much better chance to clutch this time in the 1v2. Bomb getting ready to go down, but now his position given up as he tries to put shots into Awakening. And as he goes to jump across, he gets shut down. 4 in a row now for Mutineers. And I mean, it's a bit like the Hardpoint in the sense, what, you go down 1-3, you're down early like the Hardpoint. Not as bad as going on 100 points in a Hardpoint, but this time you're bringing it back, and it looks like you might be able to close it out. You're on the brink now.
Yeah, and it's beautiful patience from Havoc because obviously he flashed the smoke, but even after that, just a prone. He knows Classics around those middle buses. I think Classic does find a kill, but once again, using their numbers, they've had numbers just so often. All the rounds they've won, they've had those numbers.
Cammy couldn't quite find the angle with the snipe. Frosty trying to maybe get a hit marker through the smoke, but it's not going to happen. A fast plant. Again for Ultra. And Pharaoh, he hits it. Cammy's going to drop, and you know he wants to chow that. He goes to chow, but he's already repositioned. Pharaoh feeling himself so far at a monster map 1 as well as he led all players.
Yeah, and I like this.
Statistically a monster.
Are they just going to let him be? Are they just going to leave him? They're just going to leave Kleenex. They're going to let him stay in there. They're going to try and take the rest of the map. But Pharaoh, maybe they didn't know he was in there, actually. Are they on the defuse?
I thought what you were saying was smart until they stood right in front of the door.
I think Frosty's on it. I don't know how close he is. Bance is going to take him down, and that should do it. It looked like he was on it for a while. Bance finds the last kill. Yeah, I thought that they were just going to leave Kleenex be. Right? Just let the MP5 stay in that store.
Is it just me, or was the bar not moving like it
was? Not. That's why I was very confused.
Oh, yeah. So
and he was just like prone. So I have no idea what that was. But
okay,
Toronto won the round.
Toronto, I mean, that was do or die time. You had to get the round win. And they were able to do it there. Now can they rip off 2 more rounds? Cammy, Snipe's put away for now. I mean, he's 2-8. Obviously, the Sniper has not been clicking on this particular trip to Piccadilly. So I'll put it away and see what he can do with the M4 out as they're now posted up on defense. And Mutineers looking for some opening. Oh, I think I might see your feetsies.
Size 12 right there. I don't think he spots him. He's playing this position, but what a map from Havoc.
Yeah, it's hard to tell sometimes with like the X-ray.
Yeah. Talks about him just being when they found success in June, he was playing great. He is bringing it today, especially on this map. But a slow round from Florida. Now it looks like they're going to go towards this A site.
It looks open for now. Smoke's going to get out. They'll try to work this plant. Shots start to come in. Havoc spots him towards the mid buses, just looking for some kind of angle. Bomb now getting planted. Frosty's been caught once from this position. This time he will finish it, but will he stay alive? 10 bullets left in the clip. Methods has to reload. That might allow someone to get in position to shut him down, but it is Vance with the first blood. Immediately, though, Skies, Pharaoh, both able to connect. Man advantage to Mutineers, and they can close out this game 2 right here, right now. Cammy's going to get caught with Dead Silence, trying to get away. Kleenex and Methods. It all falls to them, and Kleenex goes big. Kleenex is actually able to take down a second. 2 versus 2, but Frosty with the final 2 wins it for Mutineers. 6-4 the final scoreline, and Joe, so far, they've won each other's picks, which is not usually how it goes.
No, but honestly, what did Toronto do on defense again? They allow them to have that A plant. They're focused really on pushing the plane towards the B side. Who shuts it down that round? It was Pharaoh. It was Skies. They lock it down. They finally win that A bomb site after they hit the plant. And yeah, it's important that Frosty stayed alive as long as he did. Methods is just trying to finish that kill after he hits the plant down. Well, who wins them the map? It's Frosty.
But who really got it going for them, right? Like when they were down 1-3 and had to get something going, Havoc starts to turn up, and he's the guy that ends up dropping 12 kills in the game. So what I kind of want to look at, I mean, we're going to take a look at the U.S. Army tactical play. It's going to be Havoc, and I believe it's the round 8. I'm guessing it's, when he kind of goes in, pops that nasty two-piece, picks one off in ticket booth as he is just making the plays. We'll watch this one more time. Again, your U.S. Army tactical play. And this is actually deeper into the game. I was thinking about that MP5 two-piece.
Yeah, this is when he gets this bunny hop.
Oh, yeah. That was
nasty
nasty
too. Trade. And then right here, I think some players right there continue to move forward. And while he puts some bullets in the Classic does take him down. But just beautiful patience out of Havoc. Opens up that B side. Frosty can move on up. And, Methods gets put into a tough spot.
Yeah, well, either of those kills, whether you look at the bunny hop through the smoke or the push towards mid statue, like they're entry kills, right? They're difficult kills where you're usually going up against somebody pre-aimed in a good spot, and Havoc is able to make the play. Mutineers, that's not necessarily a must-win map, but kind of. When you lose your pick in Hardpoint, like you really need to rebound the search, and that's exactly what they were able to do, Joe.
Yeah, we talked about Cammy 2-9 from him, not the best Piccadilly. Just felt like they avoided his sniper. So you asked me, what do you do with a sniper like that? And well, Florida's got it figured out.
Yeah, that's got to be one of Cammy's probably worst Piccadillys all year. Like, he's been so lights out from that position, but 2 maps in, all tied up 1-1. This best of 5 continues after this quick break.
Thousands and thousands of hours of hard work lead to this moment.
Once again, the Mutineers, the teamwork is just exceptional right now.
There's the clearance from the Mutineers, and there's the win.
Congratulations, not only do you win your 3rd home series, Mutineers have just taken over the COD League.
TeamSpeak, the official broadcast communication partner of the Call of Duty League. The US Army, what's your warrior? PlayStation 4, the official platform partner of the Call of Duty League. Call of Duty League is brought to you by Metro by T-Mobile. Rule your day with the #1 brand in prepaid.
Here is your Florida Mutineers.
The Florida roster, it's an interesting mix of a world champion and then a lot of guys who get 2nd place.
It almost feels like this is the best of the rest.
Hovering somewhere in your bottom 3rd, like your 9th to 12th position.
The roster on paper is not as good as just most others.
The first half of the season for the Florida Mutineers was an absolute roller coaster.
Turbulent is the word I would use to describe.
Florida get the W. Pristini wins the battle versus brother, and there's the hype.
They end up coming in 2nd place, and it's like, all right, this team is the real deal.
Then the news comes out for Pristini that he wants to take time to himself.
I know he's going through stuff, but to sit at home and watch this has got to be hard.
And then you bring in Pharaoh.
You're telling me we're going to put Pharaoh in a full-time submachine gun position. I don't know how that's going to work.
It doesn't seem like it's going to make sense. Boom, they get 1st place.
Florida Mutineers, your victors, and what a performance it was from Florida, Joe.
Can they keep going? Can they go the distance? Are they going to be a top team? No. No. Not even close. Cut to the next home series, their own home series, and the boys couldn't steal a win of a map if they tried.
It is over. It is a 3-0 victory over the Florida Mutineers.
I don't think you could say that they were legit yet.
The decision to bench Pristini and then to trade him to arguably one of their hottest rivals in the league, a very questionable decision.
So what do? Bring in Awakening. And since then, they have been on fire.
Florida man strikes again.
Skies finds 2 down at the bar. Pharaoh now coming through. The Mutineers are really starting to light this one up.
They beat Atlanta, they beat Chicago, they beat Dallas.
Florida could not have made a bigger statement if they tried.
They have the magic right now.
Pharaoh's back to his old finals ways. Skies is one of the most incredibly consistent players in the league. And Awakening has once again taken the CDL by storm.
He's ravenous as Havoc finds his 3rd in a row. Frosty, what was that?
The real reason why I didn't see anything working out of this team was because I merely looked at the starting roster. I didn't look at what was behind the starting roster.
It really is a roster of underrated and overlooked players.
You gotta give a lot of love to the GM and coach.
Ogre 2 being their manager and Ricky Atura as their coach, like, you couldn't ask for anything more from them.
They were one of the first few teams to really start to think about the situation we were all in. This isn't about who can handle the lights, the stage, the fans. It's about who is literally bringing their A game on the internet.
Absolute thumping, dude. 29 to 104.
Right now, Florida are showing that they're a contender, and they're a scary contender.
Everything is about as close to perfect as you could ask it to be.
What the hell are they going to look like come champs? How powerful are they going to be?
No one is coming close.
The Florida Mutineers have just taken over the COD League. Florida, I'm sorry I doubted you.
I was a doubter at the beginning of the year.
I'm not taking any of it back, but clearly I have been proven wrong.
You alone have changed the CDL.
Hi, and welcome back. I know you've missed us terribly, but here's a reminder on how this is going. The maps and modes presented by U.S. Air Force. Each team has taken the other's pick so far. When you talk about that ban veto process, it's kind of unbelievable. Ultra take Mutineers pick of the Hardpoint. Mutineers bounce back, and they're able to take the Search and Destroy pick from Ultra. And now, before we get into the Game 3, something exciting. Head over to the Scuff Gaming Twitter. You have a chance to win a Scuff Impact controller. I know Joe and I both use Scuffs. I don't know what I'd be able to do without one. They're phenomenal.
This thing, it's beautiful. It is beautiful.
Do you have yours?
I pulled mine out. Yeah, look at this thing. It is fantastic. I love it. Go win one. Yo, win one. Go win one, chat. Go get it.
I was gonna show mine too.
Okay.
I have one too.
Nice. I like it.
Beautiful. Look at this thing.
Looks great, Clint. It's good stuff.
That controller's seen some stuff. Let me tell you, thousands and thousands of hours of Verdansk, just thousands. But we're getting ready to start the map 3. And we're taking a look at Domination. I mean, it's kind of...
I don't know what Skies doing, but he's getting into it, man. He was headbanging. Okay, he's getting fired up. Let's go, Clint.
I love that. I love that, Joe.
Oh, look at him. He's got the moves.
Joe?
Yeah.
It is time for the Domination. Tied up 1-1. The swing map. The Game 3. It's important. All right, now Skies has got me fired up. I'm ready to dance.
Yeah, just looking at this for both of the squads. For Florida, 6-4 with Awakening, in Toronto, 6-4 overall. So pretty equal between these squads. We've seen a lot of Hackney recently, especially the last couple of home series. It's all about typically this A-B setup. Can Toronto hold on to it?
Oh, we'll focus now on the entries towards B. Everyone through top and bottom L as they go to get Soren on in. It's the Simtexes, though, that are doing the damage.
Ooh.
For Ultra. Yeah, I thought usually, you peek that with a little slide cancel. You're winning that fight most of the time, but Frosty able to do it.
Yeah, Method's inside of B, though. He finds the last 2. And that should be an early AB setup. They deal with that first push. Look at the pressure that they have. You have Bance all the way up at Smokestack. Yes, we see B. It is captured by the Toronto Ultra. And now, Florida, the Mutineers, going to have to try and retake this.
Ultra, they've got the setup. They had a person pushed up all the way to Smokestack as well, in a great position to rack up some time. Let's go to an Astro listen-in with the Toronto Ultra.
I spawned right. I'm popping on the right wall for a second.
I need low cam.
Watch him
I'm here. I'm here.
Go here, top on me.
He's in low. He's already in low. Nice cam. Well played.
Top three.
Top L.
Top three. Two top L.
He's gonna be mid L me.
Top L dead. One more for top L.
Need game B.
Watch him, right?
Bro, top L drop.
Keep reawakening.
It's top
Top AC
AC
and P3 are gonna follow
Which one right?
Fine, it's fine. Just stay like Pharaoh. Nice.
Go right.
Haven't in. Haven't in. Weak beyond it. Nice.
Nade it.
I'm about to find top L.
Top L weak. Top L weak.
Top L, frosty.
I spawned one.
Yeah, right.
Oh, I'm one shot. Yeah, fork right now.
I spawned green, yeah.
P1 door. I need help.
I'll get it.
He wall bang me. Wake me.
Yeah,
Top L.
Ooh, absolutely. Spawned here, mid.
I'm about to make a pinch play.
I'm right back. I'm going C. Can you
Milk
solve A? Can you solve A or no?
No, top L, Pharaoh. Stun OB, Toby.
Top AC. Top AC again.
I'm gonna nuke. I'm going for it.
You got right, yeah?
I'm watching Scaff.
I got P1 door.
He's on me.
Been hidden.
C.
We gotta get him.
He's on C.
Yep. I think he's top AC.
But he's about to give it right. You gotta pick it up, bro.
Top L dead. I got Pharaoh top L.
I'm on top AC. I can't see him.
Top AC dead.
Yo, watch out. Close that door.
Nice.
I'm the one top L.
Lane down.
Top three dead.
He's low.
Hold
Yeah.
Let him push him.
Top slant.
Hold right.
I'm pushing up on the right.
Okay,
right. Nothing on the
Right
right.
here.
They'll be all
Low.
I'm standing.
Yo, top L, AC hop, and
I'm standing
fucking graffiti.
corner,
No, top L on graffiti.
What's my map on me? You got me flash.
Well, they're able to get back into that 2-cap control. The back half of that Astral listen-in. Joe, anything major from you? Any takeaways from the Ultra listen-in?
I mean, just very calm, right? Like, they were just like having conversations like us. Just sort of, hey, when you spawn up, you look right. I'm gonna go top L. Like, there was none too crazy, like emotions-wise. Just very calm. And I like that. They were able to retake B behind Kleenex, so I think found 2 inside of the B. But Florida, they fight back. Then they've been locking down this CB side. But Toronto, this time, they switch it up. Instead of just sending methods, they send 2 players towards C. But now can they hold on to the A flag? Because that's what Florida is trying to do. They're trying to push as fast as they can to influence spawns.
You can see at number 7, Classic. He's having to watch both sides, trying to pick up everything on the push. And they're going to lose it. Classic will drop. The players from Ultra spawn out. They're able to hop around a B, and now they're going to try to basically do the same thing. They know there's somebody still by C. They want to flood over towards A. It's Kleenex, I believe, it's Cammy that was trying to go huge. He's going to get caught on A. Now you're just trying to make decisions all over the map, because now you have 1 back towards C, 2 pushing over to A, 1 trying to lock down B. You're all over the map right now. If you're Ultra, can you win these key fights? But with a minute left in this scoreline, starting on the C side, if you're Mutineers, kind of regardless of how this last minute goes, I feel like you feel pretty good about it.
Absolutely. Only down 6. So yeah, their CB holds were pretty solid. Early on in that listen-in, like, Toronto they didn't have much pressure on the map. And now you have AB. Well, you're trying to get AB to close this side out as Skies is on it right now. Yeah, I thought they were
Havoc killed like 4 inside too. Like was trying to do everything that he could, but yeah, just purely too many Ultra members there, and the help not in quite quickly enough. And Cammy, who was good in the game 1, struggled mightily in the game 2, has really bounced back in this 3rd map. He started out strong. You saw he's on another killing spree there as well. Mutineers looking to get the B cap for maybe the final 3 ticks to keep this right around, like an 8-ish point game, right in that ballpark. So, yeah, I mean, you feel good if you're Ultra in the fact you have a lead, you dealt with some crazy situations. You love to hear the comms and, how calm, cool, collected it was. Nothing too crazy, not repeating calls a million times for the most part.
Yeah.
For Mutineers, you're in a good spot. You're going to A, you're down 9. Not much to hate about that.
Oh, they are very happy about this, but I mean, really, that's been hack the yard. We very rarely have had blowouts recently on this map, and that's because for the most part, teams have sort of finally figured out, how do we want to deal with losing A, right? Like you saw Toronto do that. Okay, we know they have AC. We're spawning B. Let's get B. So Kleenex, he's trying to get across towards A. Like the people know how to play, right? We're at the end of the game. They know how they want to respond on the map. It's just who can execute better.
Absolutely. Well, it's Mutineers down 9 going into the half. They'll get the AB control. We heard the comm calls from Ultra. I want to hear from the other side as well. Let's get you an Astro listening with the Florida Mutineers.
Nice. Good job.
Oh, fuck.
Yo, 2v1, 2v1, 2 and P1.
Alright, let's take your time.
Right,
Take your time in this break.
right, right,
I
right,
got
right,
this
right,
one, top
right,
PC. I
right.
got
I saw one.
I got an 8. I'm flying your door. Flying your door.
Backed up P1.
Backed up.
Dead.
Take your time.
Come on.
I cleared it.
I didn't bottom L. I have a trophy.
Mid.
Lane bottom out. We gotta pick up mid. Gonna back up. Our door, guys. Our door. 2 plate. Cop car. Get into. And 1 cop car.
Yeah,
Our door.
There's one in green.
They're gonna get me. Scaff. You
Give me that name, there's one in green.
One top green play.
I'm in B door.
Green dead. Milk. I put a bullet in milk. He's under scaff.
There's 2. Just get CB, guys. These are milk check, man.
Yeah, we gotta go get C. I'll get it up.
More numbers in B. And you
Why
go get
the-
C.
I
Kill that watching away. I killed that
See that. You keep going. It's 1 yellow. One more yellow. Top out. Go, guys. He's top out.
One top green. Nice. One dead somewhere. We need to keep going together. Tires right now. Tires.
I'm looking. Turn around, Jake.
I'm on mid. I'm trying to get B.
White crate weak.
Yo, 2 and 5. Yo, 1 to P1 and 1 right. White barrels. That's got white barrels.
Top out, weak. He's going right, mid-side top out. Easy to break here.
I'm getting smacked down top AC.
I'm gonna go mid. Make sure we have a lead. Top out, one shot mid.
Red crate dead.
One's mid, one shot.
Middle crate.
One more L.
I have your guys
And one's Oline.
Well, you were down 9 going into the half. If you're Mutineers, the deficit has increased a bit. There was a wild situation where they lost A for a moment. The CB control has been locked down by Ultra. And now we have another one of those wild moments where a flip is coming in, people all over the map.
Yeah, sort of what we talk about can't happen happens. You cannot go 4 to 5 down if you want to hold on to A. But they do. Toronto, they get that flip. You sort of heard the difference there in the listen-ins. I would guess I would probably call it like maybe just some more urgency on the Florida side, right? Like they're playing with their comms like are feeling the gameplay, if you know what I mean.
100%.
You can hear the emotion a little bit more, but Toronto doesn't phase them. They're calm. They have this 20-point lead. They are locking things down.
Yeah, and now they have the A side. So that entire conversation we really had sort of out the window in the sense that Ultra get the flip, and they've got number 6 and Kleenex ready to pounce on the flank. He might be able to make the play inside. Not going to happen, though, as it's Skies and Frosty that pick it up. So now you get B control back, but look at number 7 in Classic overextending over towards C. Someone's going to have to wrap back, and the wrap back man is going to be Awakening. Awakening needs to win this one-on-one. Try and prevent this neutral from going through. The neutral will get in, but it'll be able to take this back with relative ease.
And that's all they're going to do.
With a minute and a half left, you've got to be... You're going to have a neutral for a bit here, right?
Yeah, they need to.
That's
all Toronto is going to play around. They are going to play around that C neutral. You see the way that Methods and Bants are playing on the bottom side of the map. They are holding on, making sure nobody pushes through towards A. You're going to have someone overextend up top middle of the map when they get control. But here comes the push. Skies is able to trade. Skies and Pharaoh, they're going to go for it. But this is where that flip comes in. So you take C now. Now you still have 1 flag. You still need the neutral. This could be it's going to be difficult to do. But you might turtle up if you're Toronto, and that could hurt you. But they got to go quick.
Mutineers have got to do something special now. If they're going to get this W, they've got to break in and try to get C. Just getting poised and ready to pounce, but then you have to worry about the potential flip. It gets into everything at this. 3 kills come through for Ultra, and that might be enough to hold this off and get the W. 11 points separating them, 30 seconds left. Barring a 3 cap, that should be done. Now it's all going to be on Skies to do this on the other side. He is able to finesse away, but then Ultra do a great job at C. They get the 3 key kills again to close that out, and that will close out the game. Ultra have a massive performance. Cammy, who we knocked a bit in the search for not having maybe his kind of marquee plays that he does more often than not on Piccadilly. Here he goes massive, 28 and 18, a great hard point as well, and the response Cammy has been terrific.
I mean, do you think he's probably the most like underrated player in the CDL? Because I sure feel that way about Cammy. And obviously Toronto, they've just recently found the sort of their rhythm, their success. But throughout the entire year, I feel like in big moments for Toronto, it has been like Cammy. Like he has been a beast for them, just consistently, and he does it here in winners round 2.
And he really, I mean, came on the scene last year with that Rated team, right?
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, like late in the year. And yeah, I remember I think Rated kind of joked that he was teaming with him and hadn't even really seen him play yet. And I was like, okay. But he's like, trust me, he's dropping 40 a map. And I was like, okay. And then he went on to be disgusting. And I was like, all right, well, okay, I'm going to trust you. And Cammy is just seemingly getting better and better. I mean, he was a monster there. He's been a monster in this series and a big part of why this Ultra team is now a map away from pulling off the upset. It's kind of like weird to call it an upset considering they won our most recent tournament. They won our most stacked tournament, but there's no other way to view it with how many finals the Mutineers were able to get to, how many home series events they were able to win. The fact that they've been a top 4 team has to be viewed. It is. But there's just part of me that like finds it weird to say it is because Ultra just won. But recency bias aside, like, yeah, no, you're right. It is an upset.
Yeah, I mean, they have 3 home series wins, right? With different iterations of rosters. They've been the more consistent team throughout the year. But yeah, now the pressure's on the Mutineers. And it's just those key moments. We talked about Cammy, Kleenex as well, 23 and 16. It feels like, I don't know, ever since he's joined this squad, has just made such an impact in the submachine gun role. Knows how to play. I mean, just plain and simple. It feels like Toronto, they know how they want to play the map. And you saw it there really just towards the back half. They realized the situation. They know how much time they needed. They know this score, and they play it the correct way.
And like, yeah, we've been gassing up Ultra, and they've gotten so much better. And it's been awesome to see. It's been one of the stories towards the end of the year, but is there something that really, I know you talked about Havoc and you know, maybe that's part of it, but that really stands out for when you think about why there's been this slip for Mutineers? Because it seems like ever since that first meta shift, and there were like kind of a bunch of them in that little lump of like 3 to 4 weeks, but ever since that kind of went down, it just feels like they haven't been the same. I don't know.
I mean, we're at a very high level, Clint, where you go back to back, you have analysts, you have coaches, these players are watching. They might have been ahead of the curve, plain and simple. They might have been looking at the maps and the game differently. And people are like, all right, let's just copy that, right? Let's do, why wouldn't you? Let's do what they're doing. So I think it's just a number of things. If they were probably ahead at the time, obviously individually they were playing extremely well, but they had a better mindset for the game. People probably watched that VOD and were like, let's just do that.
Yeah. Well, we take a look at the postseason schedule presented by U.S. Army, and you kind of saw a look at the bracket there. It's crazy, but yeah, we already are going to have kind of that FaZe Huntsman match that was talked about all year. When we finally got it, kind of turned into a bit of a dud, but hoping this one will be much, much better. But we're getting deeper and deeper into this bracket. The money getting bigger and bigger, and both these teams just fighting for a position to stay in the winner's bracket. You know, if you have a poor series down the road, it's a whole lot less punishing, especially from a financial perspective. But you go into losers now, just not what you're looking for. So much pressure on these two squads to step up and step up big. And now all of the pressure in the world on Mutineers. Down a game in the series. Ultra 1 map away from closing this out. And remember, by winning on Mutineers Hardpoint the map 1, by Ultra getting their first ever Azir Cave map win on the year, they're now heading to a map that they like. This is their pick. We're going to Petro, and Ultra close it out 3-1.
I was just going to say that. This is very one-sided. Florida, they 1-6. And they've only played it once with Awakening. They're 0-1 on this map, so not one of their go-to maps, but you got to prepare for everything. It's the postseason. They're doing that, but you already see Methods. He's worked his way all the way up through Riverside. He's trying to focus on that second hill, but Awakening is read it. He knows something was up, and they're going to take him down. But while that happened, Cammy and Kleenex, they deal with the hill.
Well, that's already been a case for a couple of teams so far in this postseason that are like playing maps for the first time, and you're like, what's going on? Then they look great on it. Like, just because you haven't seen it a lot doesn't mean you haven't been prepping for that specifically or doing it in scrims, trying to throw people off. Like, you think back to just being so good at certain things or catching people off guard, like back to makes me think of maybe EG in Call of Duty World War II, like how specific their map selection was, how they were able to punish teams on certain maps, and how big that ban veto process can be.
Well, yeah, I mean, sort of what you talked about, the preparation that teams like, all right, if we play Florida, what match do they like to play? What will probably be the outcome? Like, what will be the 5 maps we will probably play? And they'll do that little bit of extra preparation. But after that first hill, it's a 4-point game. But Toronto, they get the break, and it is behind Kleenex. He finds 3. 4 in a row. Can he find the 5th? Not able to hit the shots, but the man, he is playing at such a high level right now. Look at him and Cammy again.
Going off. They're combined for what, 11 and 4 right now. Kleenex, there's the 5th. Killing spree early into this one. Now wrapping back to pick up the objective as well. The man trying to do it all, make it 6.
Close the door.
Now up to 8 and 3. Yeah, you want to come in? Oh, okay, that guy did. Yes, he did want to come in. And Kleenex will finally drop. The spree will end. 10-point lead for Ultra. With 20 seconds left, you got to start thinking about Hazmat. The guy lingering towards mid-trains will be Cammy.
Well, they spawn out. They're not mad about it, right? You'll take that. But Cammy, he reads
that point, the hard point?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they know they've earned their time. They're going to focus on Hazmat now. You see where Florida is so far away from this hill. The hill is about to pop, and your closest guy is going to be number 5. That's going to be Havoc. And actually, Havoc gets spawned. So Havoc pushes through. There was nobody backside. So him and Skies are there. You have a pinch at the front. There's 3 to the front. We'll see what Cammy can do. Now the close spawns come in, but the pressure from Florida here.
Yeah, this could be best case. If you're able to get in the hard point and keep them pinned in the back for the rotation over to Full Hall, that is your best case scenario if they're able to do it. The Mutineers still not able to get in. Cammy, Classic, Kleenex, the C trio able to lock it down inside, so the time is still there for Ultra. And now if you're Mutineers, you got to start to rotate. You took your couple of cracks at that hard point. You weren't able to pick it up. You see everybody starting to lurk back towards mid-map. Leave a couple to deal with that first wave at mid. Let a couple track back towards the next hard point. That's exactly what they're doing.
And this is where your comms have to be on point. You know, could have anyone gotten through? Who have we killed? Who do we need to find? Who is up next? That's what matters now, is Frosty's going to finally get taken down. But yeah, you're going to see Toronto Ultra. They have a hike all the way across the map.
That actually is one of the things that impresses me the most, just as being an average Call of Duty player. Like, when you listen to listen-ins and just how on point they are with, like, who's lost a life, who we're looking for, who's missing. Like, I just am not. I'm not going to pay. Yeah, I'm just not going to pay attention to that when I'm playing. Like, I'm so locked in on the fights and just trying to get to the right spots. Like, it's hard to stay on top of for me, but players
it's also
do well.
Where you are. If you're the guy rotating with 30 seconds left and know you stuff out, you're not doing anything else. You might as well talk for your teammates, right?
That's true. That's true. That is true. But Toronto are able to surge through the front. They do get broken in despite the early setup for Mutineers. Over the 100-point mark and a 31-point advantage for Ultra. Kleenex still doing it. 16 and 8 double positive, leading all Slayers on the map by a wide margin right now. He is frying on this map. It's Frosty that's closest behind him on the other side, and Kleenex keeps it going. The movement on point. It'll get caught on the cross. As Cammy looks to get a little teardrop in the window.
Yeah, I mean, Florida just simply aren't executing on the hill. We saw it on Hazmat. They were able to put pressure on, didn't find the kills on the hill. Right there, they allowed Toronto to break in through the front. They don't find the kills on the hill. We'll see if they can do it now. You rotate into Cafe. You have a lot of power positions. You see the double prone setup out of Pharaoh and Skies. Can they find these kills? They need to, but it's the bait and the switch that come in, and it's all down to Awakening. He's all alone. Another break from Toronto. Just can't happen if you're Florida.
Yeah, especially when you have that position. We talk about it every time we go to a restaurant. When you're at that bar with like 2 players set up, it feels like it takes an army to clear you out of that position if you've got a trophy, which they did, and they're still going to get knocked out of it. There is one team kill for Ultra, maybe an opening for Mutineers to get in, but yeah, break after break. It's like you're watching FaZe play Hardpoint or something. Such a break-heavy team. Like, Ultra just getting it done. Keep doing it time after time.
Florida, though, they've split most of these hills. They could have the lead, but they're still in the game. They're only down 27.
Well, that's the case a lot of the times when a team's breaking over and over. Like, you're going to get, you're going to get 10 to 15 seconds usually before the break comes in.
Yep.
Now, a chance for Mutineers to take a lead. Can they hold on this time? That's been their woe throughout the course of this. They might be in trouble again. One tries to dip away and finesse. Cammy tries to slide on in, but it's Pharaoh tucked away that might do enough damage. I don't think he's gonna. Toronto, again, able to get into the point. Ultra are here. The pinch now coming in from Mutineers. Methods gets behind the box. Nice bit of finesse from him to drop 2. Fantastic play there. And at the same time, Benjamin Bance on 5 in a row.
Yeah, I mean, Awakening took a long route, too. Like, he was hoping his teammates found the kills and he could fight for spawns, but they didn't. So he has to wrap all the way through Archway, and then you die like that. That is frustrating to deal with. And now Skies kills him. Okay, so the last 2 deaths for Awakening, not great. It was not great for Florida. You lost the hill control. You lost spawns. It's Toronto Ultra inside a cafe.
It's funny because you were saying earlier how like when you die and you spawn out, it's like a good death. Right? Like, all right, you killed me. I'm spawning to the next point. Fine. Like with 15 seconds left, that's great. That's an example of like a death you're okay with. A death when you go around the long flank and then just get smoked. That's not fun. That is like the exact opposite of it. But the lead's sitting right around 30 points for Ultra as they look to end this best of 5 here and now and move on in the winner's side of things. What a turn up they have done as of late, but that's a lovely drop shot out of Havoc to at least take down one. Mutineers once again are going to be rotating early, right? So they've gotten over to Hazmat. Last time, I think they actually kind of had to get the break from the front here. It didn't go great. This time, they will be first set up. Pharaoh will be tucked away. Skies will be set up in the back. You need a hold here. You need
I was just say this could be the game right here. Can Toronto just keep them spawning in the back? Can they contest some of this time? Florida down 50. Winners bracket life on the line. Awakening, locking down Ambulance inside. You still have, who is that? Havoc sort of lurking around middle of the map. And, well, he shoots. And they know he's in there now. His teammates deal with the rest. So Havoc's still in a solid spot. We're going to have to focus on him, and they do.
Trying to get in, though. Classic advance, trying to find some kind of an opening. Around and around we go as Classic lost him for a moment, but it's Frosty that actually picks up 3 before he falls inside. He keeps the point in their control. A chance for a lead change if you get the rest this time, but it's Classic now flanking in around the back. It's Pharaoh tucked away in a corner yet again. Awakening there for the trade towards Riverside as well. And after it's all said and done, it should be a few point advantage for Mutineers. They needed a massive hold, Joe. They got it.
Yeah, but are those early mistakes going to hurt them? Now you're going to pool hall. And, well, Frosty says hello. And he's going to mess with this setup now. How many can he win? How many can he win? He's able to take down 2, but that is going to buy his team time to put pressure. He did his job. Here comes Havoc. He's going to slide on through. He's going to advance. It is all due to Frosty. What a play in a map they needed him.
Yeah, and you didn't have to deal with like the typical first wave where you have to win it at mid-map before you can get in. You're able to rally right in behind Frosty. Ultra do battle their way back through. Kleenex is able to take down 3. Well, Kleenex just keeps shutting them down. 4 in a row for him. First to the 30 kill mark as well. Oh, what a bounce back there from Ultra. The big thing, though, they cannot close out this game here. We're going to be heading over to Restaurant. If you get that early setup if you're Mutineers, which looks like it's going to be tough to do because Ultra are there on the rotation already, but I guess they're now going to have to get that bar break like we saw Ultra do. And can they do it?
They fought for that scrap time. They felt like they needed it, and they're able to do it. Yeah, looks like they're going to try and set up a pinch. Who is that? Sky's working blue side. He gets shut down. Cammy on rotation. Well, he's going to slow it down for Ultra. The man, he'll take them all on. It does not matter to him, but you can't deal with that unless you got a trophy.
Yeah, you know it's a bit of a heat check when he's trying to bunny hop around the statue to challenge the third one-shot. Yeah, he's feeling it. But now just 20 points of victory away from closing out this series is Ultra. They can close it out here inside of this hard point. Havoc able to take gunfight up top. He's able to drop down and shut down another. Skies through on the flank, able to do it. Havoc picks up a 3rd, and Mutineers have gotten in. They've extended this game as long as they can hold. We'll see another hard point.
Yeah, now they got to do it again, though, right? It's the problem when you keep going down to these holes. You're going to have to break again. Yeah, already see Toronto working the bottom side. They're going for this. Okay, they're not going to win here, but Classy, they do send them here for pressure. And this is going to slow Florida down a lot because you already have Kleenex up top, apartments, Methods on the hill. 3 go down for Florida at the wrong time. And while the hill is popping and you have nobody here from Florida yet.
You got to go if you're Florida. You got to go. You got to break through and somehow get in. 5 points now needed for Ultra. Frosty, he's got into contest. He's going up high. Cammy, though, ready and waiting for him. It's still a mess inside the point. Havoc is still here, trying desperately to finesse. Have they done enough? The reinforcements should get there, but a little bit quicker on the reinforcements for Ultra. Somebody's got to get the angle to shut that down, and it may have been Skies that was able to do it. Havoc seems to have been alive in this point forever, but it's Skies that continues to find kill after kill. Now sliding out is Havoc. You're still alive if you're Mutineers. You can technically win it here and look towards top blue. You've got Frosty in position to maybe get some cutoffs. He can cut off these reinforcements, but Kleenex is able to drop them. It's all going to come down to these final seconds. If Mutineers can hold and get us to a map 5, Havoc doing what he can through the smoke. Ultra, though, able to get in. Now no one can win it here. No one can win it here. There's not enough time. It's all going to come down to the rotation. Ultra are now in position to close this out. Mutineers have got to rally over. 249, 249. Ultra are in. Ultra do it. They couldn't get it closed out on first, but the rotation enough to win. Woo! What was that Hardpoint, buddy?
Chaos. First of all, the start of that hill, the reason that got crazy, I don't know if it was a trophy or what, but Method somehow blew up to a van. So that allowed Florida to get in. Then it's just coming down to, all right, we know we have to break. Let's get a good 5-man push. They deal with that player. I believe it was Frosty inside blue that you called out. They take it step by step. They do it again. It's what's so fun to watch about this Toronto team. They know what they need to do to win the game. They had to contest for a few seconds. They're able to do it. They control spawns for next. And, well, they win the series 3-1.
Yeah, and, like, I don't know if it was recency bias or the fact that I covered myself in some sort of vegan, fake, organic syrup. But I just really felt like Ultra were going to take this. Like, they just looked so good at that tournament. It seemed like they were clicking at the right time. Historically, the team that has been the best at the end of the season is usually who is going on to, you know, take the championship or at least make a run. We know how good recent form is, and man, they come in with a massive upset. You got to give props to Ultra. The train keeps on rolling.
Yeah, I mean, 37 from Kleenex. You had 33 from Frosty on the other side. I felt like he was the one really making a ton of impact plays on the hill. But honestly, that hard point from Florida sort of reminded me of like when we watched FaZe, like just making it so difficult on themselves, not playing fundamentals, right? Even that first hard point we watched on Cave, like, why aren't you rotating that first rotation? They just went down in a hole too many times in those hard points, and Toronto hung on.
It's funny because I think I mentioned that Ultra reminded me of FaZe because they kept getting the breaks, but more
just like
mirrors, I guess, and how hard.
Just like, why are you making the game so difficult on yourselves? That's how it felt.
Well, let's take a look at the scuff play of the game. We got to take a look at the final 60 to 90 seconds of this one because it was a nail biter. A 250 to 249. You only get a handful of those throughout an entire year. The map was madness, and it was a pleasure to cast it with you, Joe. We hope you and guys enjoyed that one, but Joe, maybe anything we missed that you kind of want to break down and talk about here for the final minute?
You see in the kill feed right there, that is not the time you want to die if you're Florida. You're spawning out. But now watch Methods. He's on the van. I have no idea what happens here because this is why this gets a little crazy. He's on a... Okay, I don't know if the trophy... I think the trophy did damage to the van, but as soon as he gets taken down, archways open up, and that's when the chaos starts to roll for Florida. So they get in. They're able to hang on, and you see number 3, Frosty. He realizes the position that he's in. So Frosty, he's going to go towards blue. Talked about him. He's just cutting off that archway, which is such a strong position. Florida win this next fight. And this is when Toronto, what do we have to do? How do we win this game? All right,
that was 5 down there. That was 5 down.
Yeah, it was 5 down. And they take their time. You have Classic who leaves Frosty. He says, all right, my teammates are going to handle that. I like that. So he's going to set up the pinch. And they go in the 4 versus 5. The smoke comes in. There's a very fast trade. Now, I think it's that classic. I think it's a classic pinch all the way around. He finds a kill. And that just buys them enough time on this rotation to get it to this next hill.
Unbelievable. Yeah, when I was just looking at the minimap, like I guess I didn't realize they knew Frosty's position at that moment in time, like exactly where he was. And I thought,
he shot before.
I thought he was going to make the play. Like it just looked like it from the minimap. Like he's going to have the angle on the cross. He should be able to at least take down one, turn another head. But the fact that he gets beamed top blue allows them all to flood in. They have the numbers advantage. They get in. They can test just long enough. And then as soon as you knew where the next hard point was in the map, you knew Ultra had it in the bag. But we'll now take a look at our bracket and where we're going on the winner side. Empire and Ultra will be battling it out along with FaZe and Huntsman. That was that got the heart pumping, Joe. That was a fun one.
Yeah, and that's actually a rematch, Empire Ultra from the Toronto home series in the semifinal. That was a 3-1 win to Ultra. And what have we talked about a lot with Dallas is after losing to a team, how do they adjust and prepare for it? Because that was the big discussion between like Florida and June, right? Florida, they were winning that series majority of the time. But you look at the last 3 times they matched up, where Florida are 3-4 in their last 7 series. 3 of those losses are to the Dallas Empire. So that should be a really fun matchup. And for Dallas in Atlanta, I think you're watching today, you realize the importance of coming out hot early in these series. You need, this is where you look at your veterans to say, listen, we have to bring it right out of the gates.
Absolutely, and I just want to take this moment to kind of gas Kleenex too, because we've really highlighted like a lot of the players that have come in and been huge, like younger players, and come into this big spotlight. I mean, you think of Awakening and Mac and Vivid or whoever you want to look at. There's been a lot of players that have come in and stepped it up in a big way. But Kleenex, you know, when he first transitioned in, it was a little bit awkward. Like, we didn't know what was going on at first. There was all that drama, kind of a Classic sitting out, and Kleenex had to come in. There was a lot of confusion. Classic's now back in, and Kleenex is just, from champs last year, we're really excited to see this guy. And it's just awesome to see him involved. And he was fire, just absolute dynamite towards the late stretch of that series, especially in the map 4. Just so good. And yeah, another guy that maybe doesn't get the recognition he should, just because there's a lot of other, not rookies per se, but young players that have been phenomenal this year. But
well, he just hasn't had that many chances. I mean, that's just
true.
It took him a while to get on this roster.
This is his chance, and it seems like he is going nuts. Like, I think there are just bigger and better things for this man career. Like, he's just going to keep improving, and he's going to be really, really fun to watch.
I agree. It just feels like he knows how to play the map. He knows this. His situational awareness seems like one of the best in the league. Honestly, it seems like he knows how to play. And then, yeah, of course, when you talk about sub, that movement and that gun skill just has to be there.
Yeah, it absolutely is. But that's going to do it for Joe and I. We hope you enjoyed the match and that riveting map 4. But now we've got Lando with Benjamin Bance. Take it away.
It's your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation. I'm Lando, and joining me is Bance from the Toronto Ultra. Bance, what, man? I know it's kind of quick to come off of a victory like that, but I have to say, right, a lot of people were kind of throwing around some questions around the Ultra coming into playoffs. You know, can I keep up that same level of play after beating Chicago, after beating Dallas, after beating Atlanta? Well, now you get the job done here versus Florida. You get it done in the final hour. We saw the emotion, what it means for you and the boys. Is it time that people stop sleeping on the Toronto Ultra?
Personally, yes. I feel like we're a very good team, but if people want to keep doubting us, that's fine. We'll keep proving all the haters wrong.
I like that. I like that answer, man. Like I said, it's been an impressive stretch to say the least. And I have to ask you, you know, when you made it to COD Champs, when you made it to the COD Champs Grand Final back in Black Ops 3, I felt like that Splice team was so good because of the potential that everybody had to go off. And I feel like the same can kind of be said for your Toronto Ultra team here as well, right? We've seen yourself, we've seen Methods, Classic, Cammy recently, Kleenex as of late really go off. What does it feel like to be on a team with players that all have the ability to take over a map?
Oh, it feels amazing. You know, obviously, Toby, King Finesse, he can go off whenever, and it just knowing like if Toby slides in for me, like he can trust me with his trade, or if I slide in, Toby can trust, like I can trust Toby to get the trade. Like, it feels good to know that going into any match. You know, it's just like, oh no, you just know. Like, everyone's going to be doing their job. No one's really going to be slacking. You know, everyone's going to be pulling their weight, no matter what the map is or what the mode is.
Sure. Now I have to ask you, what allows the team to keep coming away with these incredibly close and clutch victories?
I feel like we've been through so many defeats, so many close defeats, that, like, I feel like we know basically every situation going into it. And we've been working hard on just keeping our composure, keeping level-headed. And I feel like a lot of the time it came down to our comms. Our comms used to be a big issue of, like, someone not coming that one thing that, like, one gap that's left open and which they abuse. And so we've been working hard on all those little things, and obviously it's shown.
It definitely has, man. It is absolutely shown. That was your instant reaction brought to you by PlayStation. Bance, thanks so much for joining us. And, man, tell you what, best of luck in the rest of the tournament.
Thank you very much.
Well, while day 3 has come to a close here at CDL Playoffs, there is still a ton to get into. When we come back after the break, it is Lottie, Nameless, and Pac-Man breaking down what we saw today and what to expect tomorrow.
That is quite literally worst case scenario if you're Ultra.
Toronto, they're meant to lose this game.
Toronto have not quite had what it takes.
And he goes is huge for Ultra, and they get their first home series victory. What a map 5 it was.
After a year of disappointment, Toronto Ultra, Cinderella's going to the ball.